It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to the 6th episode of DeltaCo Fireteam Chat, also known as Two Tacos in a Blue. I'm Audio Reborn. Today we have Krakenfall and No Face. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing great. Love the title.
That's great. So, as always, we're going to get started here with just some weekly highlights. So, has anything good or negative happened to any of you guys this week?
Well, I haven't played much. I actually didn't notice until Wednesday that it was reset. So, I kind of just, it's Wednesday at 11 p.m. I guess I'll do some Destiny. But I did end up playing quite a bit of Iron Banner. And that was actually pretty fun. I played a little bit with some tacos, and I played with, by myself. And by myself was not the worst thing in the world. I think I won more than I lost, so that's a good thing. I'm still not warming up to the combat and the new paradigm with
Team shoot 44,
abilities. Yeah, team shoot only abilities. Like every time I was doing well, I would kind of stray out of the group and push solo, and either try to flank or try to catch them off guard. And I was successful most of the time, but sometimes I just really miss the Destiny 1 way of doing things, because I could go in there and I had more mobility, and I can just get across the map faster than the people that I'm playing against, and I can jump into a situation, fire off some shots. Oh, I'm outgunned. Run back. In this game, mobility sucks so much that oh no, they saw me. I'm going to take 20 years to turn around, and I'll have a kid. You
can strafe though, man. That mobility, you're strafing all over the place, aiming down sights. Man, you're a monster.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could. I don't actually have good mobility on my PC character yet. It's just 4. Well, it's all recovery. I like being able to go around a corner and suddenly have all my health back. It's saved my bacon a couple times, but it's just that stuff. Thankfully, I had a good enough time this week that didn't really even get to me. But sometimes, son of a bitch, it just gets to me.
You gotta save the bacon, man. You just gotta save the bacon.
Well, they make it hard to do. But anyway, I actually had fun in Iron Banner. I've got almost, I think, 6 or 7 packages, and it's Friday. I'll probably get the rest. So.
Well, that's cool.
Right.
That sounds a lot more interesting than my week. So on Saturday, there's some guys that I play with on PC. We tried the raid again on Saturday night, and I stayed up to about 2 o'clock in the morning. We made it all the way to Callus, and it was so sad because we were all falling asleep. We couldn't stay awake anymore. We would start the encounter, and you'd see 2 people just not moving because we were all just falling asleep. But yeah, it was so sad. Seriously, we were why? What are they doing? I was they're probably asleep.
I was waiting for and they got anteatered out or something like that, but no, man, they were asleep. That was not the ending I was expecting.
Seriously, it was. We were already at it for 5 hours.
Wow.
That's
okay.
how long. Yeah.
That makes sense. I was just imagining, okay, guys, let's go raid, and you get down into the raid, and you're shooting some stuff, and one guy's running into the wall, and another guy's just
I've been guilty of the wall running for sure.
Me too. My wife makes fun of me for it, but and just blinking away the sleepiness. Come on, guys, we can do this.
Yeah.
Audio.
But, yeah, pretty much, man. It was really bad. So we made it to Callus, and that was pretty much it. And as far as funny story. So remember how last week I was talking about how I got an anti-OD? Well, that Saturday I got 2 anti-ODs.
Nice.
No shit.
Of course,
just because Bungie knew you got it.
Yeah, so they have to give you more.
Yeah. They were like, bro, let's get this guy some more D, all right? Yeah. And I really have not played much Iron Banner this week. I've been working all week, like Friday and all. So I haven't gotten to play too much, but the solo game has been on point for me. So I can definitely back you up on that for sure. But I've only gotten like 3 packages, and I've gotten the same rocket launcher twice. So see how that goes.
That's kind of echoing both y'all statements there. Like Iron Banner is mostly what I did, and honestly, ran solo, completely solo, the entire time, which was sad because there was literally like one other person in the clan online during the times I was playing. I'm not gonna say that anyone has possibly gone to another platform and left all his console buddies behind. I'm not saying that happens at all.
Can I just say something real
Go
quick?
Go for it.
I logged in this week.
Did you really?
When I found out it was Iron Banner, and I was like, "Hey, where's my tacos? I hear people on main chat are playing Iron Banner. I think I'll play some Iron Banner with the guys." No one was on.
Okay, so hang on.
And it was like 8 o'clock at night.
Do you hear that? Do you know what that is? That's typing. All you gotta do is just hit those keys a little and be like, "Hey, no face. I need someone to drag me down, and I will be there for you."
Yeah.
I need somebody to drag me down.
Well, maybe before reset.
All right, sounds good.
Let's say, "Hey, no face, come be my human shield."
I am down for that. Like, with time to kill the way it is, I can actually do that pretty well. But
that's pretty funny. All right, so we'll move on to the next topic here. So on what was it, Wednesday or Tuesday that they had the second Bungie stream for Curse of Osiris?
That'd be Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Okay, so on Tuesday they had the second reveal stream for Curse of Osiris. They didn't really show off too much. They showed off the public event, I believe, and then they showed off the that grid system that they have. The talk about in the I forgot what it's called.
The Forge.
The Forge in the lighthouse. Did they show off anything else besides that?
The public event, the Forge, and the I want to say Twilight Force, but no, that's not the right word. Infinite Force.
Did they go to the Infinite Force?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I actually stopped watching the stream because it's all new content. Why are you showing us so much?
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. And that's actually what was it? And then they were doing the public event, and then they were talking about these awesome rewards, and then you see these 2 chests. You're like, oh shit, here it comes, and fucking 2 tokens in a blue. I was like, are you serious right now? Is nobody else seeing this right now?
So
and then it's all over Reddit within just minutes.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad for Deej on that, because I know what he was trying to say is most rewarding public event. I'm sure he was saying rewarding as in it's fun to play, you feel like you're doing something. We talked about this in one of the earlier episodes, because we always have to reference World of Warcraft in some way, about how the world events where they're bigger, they're more involved, all that sort of stuff. So I know that's kind of what he was getting at, and it's just terrible timing. And I honestly don't know if he had seen the public event before or not. And he says most rewarding public event, and then they open the chest, and you're like, oh man, Deej is gonna get roasted for this. And yep, instantly, everywhere, 2 tokens in a blue.
They were all over it.
So
pretty funny.
But
all right, so there's been a little bit of pot stirring in the Reddit here lately about apparently there is a XP cap for if you play it so much or if you play it so fast. No Face, you got something to say about that?
Yeah, so this is probably where I'm gonna I don't know, this is where I've spent a lot of time online this week. So with Thanksgiving and everything like that, I was doing a lot of cooking and everything, and so naturally while I'm waiting on things to finish and stuff, I would be on my phone on Reddit. So earlier this week, there was a post put up by a guy, username EnergizerX. We'll make sure we link him in the description so you can check out his post if you want to. But basically what he did is he went in and he thought that, and this has been being talked about for a couple of weeks, but no one had really done a, quote, scientific study on it.
Or empirical, yeah.
What's that?
An empirical analysis, yeah.
Sorry, I heard a para call you, and I was like, who? What? Who's calling me? So
No, go on.
yeah, so basically he was doing an analysis of this where he would go into events, and what was displaying, the number displaying on of the XP he was gaining wasn't matching up with like how much the XP bar would move. And so he did a couple of things. Most importantly, he would run stuff and he would log what time it happened, when the XP, what the number of the XP was, and then he would compare that with the number that showed up in DIM, in the Destiny Inventory Manager, because the API does allow you to track your XP that was gained. And basically...
Oh, and he also measured the pixels.
Yes, also the pixels
on the
progress
screens
bar.
on the actual progress bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did it from all sides, every possible side, Bungie API, progress bar, numbers shown, etc.
Yeah, he did a spectacular job, and that's why I want to make sure we give him credit, because he put a lot of work into this. But basically what he showed is that the faster you gained XP, the less you would actually get. So if you were grinding public events, basically up to like 90, his numbers were 96% of the XP displayed would not actually be logged to your account. So when it said you were getting, like 96%.
96
was gone.
That's a big number.
I didn't actually read his full post because I had stuff to do, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so and the deal was, if you're going to like basically throttle the amount of XP like you're getting, that sucks. That's stupid. I hate it, and I wish no one had ever thought of that idea. But if you're gonna do that, the fact that they're doing that and they're still displaying, like it's still showing, oh, you were getting like, you just got 100,000 XP or something like that, when really you got 4,000, that's being awful. That's stupid. That's terrible, and it makes me want to just like go and punch people in the stomach. Like that's just awful. But he even said, so. Well, and go ahead.
It wouldn't be so bad if like the whole point of getting XP after you get to level 30,
20
or something, 20. And like is you get bright engrams.
Yep.
And bright engrams you buy with money.
Mm-hmm. And well, he crunched the numbers on that as well. And so if you looked at it, on average, I can't remember how long he said he took to do this, but across his playtime, if he went really slowly and just killed like one enemy at a time, making sure the XP registered for every enemy, he got 100% of the XP that was displayed. If he did a public event, the public event, just completing it, like not doing anything special, would register so much XP, he would only get 50% of it. If he tried to grind public events, where he went from public event to public event to public event, he started getting 4% of what was being displayed. And he calculated that out, and what it did, as far as bright engrams are concerned, as far as cash is concerned, he is apparently from Australia, so he has the Australian dollar, so I have no idea what that is in real money. But he basically said that he was losing $4 an hour in bright engrams. So if he were to purchase those bright engrams, instead of having to earn them through XP, it was $4 an hour that he was not getting from XP, which, when you consider the number of hours we put into this game, that's a lot of cash, like that they're potentially getting.
Yeah, that's a little over $3 US money,
okay.
US dollars.
Thank you.
So.
And I know I said real money, and I apologize to anyone who is not from the States, but one, I intentionally said it because it's funny. But yes, all our friends down under, I know you have real money. It's dollars. We even call it dollars. It's cool. And, sorry, completely tangential. Australian dollars actually are different sizes based on the denomination, so the more the money's worth, the bigger it is, which I think is a brilliant idea. Good job, Australia. Way to go.
Thumbs up.
Sorry, that was my little tangent there.
So he's saying, essentially, if you're playing and grinding public events, you're losing $3 in bright engrams an hour.
Basically, yeah. That you if you were to, because he was losing 1.5 bright engrams per hour. Based on that, which equates to about $3 if you convert it to silver or whatever the in-game currency that I will never buy is.
That's really stupid.
Did Bungie have a response to it?
So that is the interesting thing about it. So like I said, this has been going on for I want to say 10, 11 days that people have been talking about it on Reddit and posting screenshots of, their XP bar barely moving, even though it's saying they're getting huge amounts of XP. And Bungie has been absolutely silent on it until literally about 4 hours ago. This post that that Energizer X made, I want to say went up last night. Bungie had said nothing about any of it until today, about 4 hours ago. They released a statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll probably post the whole thing in the video so you can read it if you want. But the part that I will read is this. It basically says, currently, XP will scale up when playing longer or fixed duration activities like Crucible competitive multiplayer matches and Leviathan Raid. And XP will scale down when playing activities that can be quickly repeatedly chained, like grinding public events. We are not happy with the results, and we've heard the same from the community. Effective immediately, we are deactivating the system. As a result, players will see XP rates change for certain activities, blah, blah, blah. And then where is it at? We will be watching and reviewing XP game data to ensure that these changes meet our expectations as well as yours. Any additional updates to the system will be communicated to you via our official channels. So that was Bungie's response on the XP deal. And before I get into that, as far as y'all are concerned, how do you feel like that response right there? That may be the first time you're hearing it, because I know this is pretty new. What do y'all feel about that response to it? What do y'all think?
It seems like a pretty cut and dry response, but when I heard about what happened and then I read this response, my first impression was, this may be me being paranoid, but maybe it's something that Bungie had put in the system on purpose, and they were thinking, they might not find out about it when somebody actually did the numbers, and they were basically like, they got caught with their pants down, and this is their response. So then they immediately took it off. That was awful quick.
Yeah. So I'm going to say probably two or three things. One, this is an EA. We're going to temporarily remove microtransactions from Battlefront 2 response.
Absolutely.
Like that's the same ilk. This response is. And the second thing is, I don't actually mind a system like this. Like, if you have a system that makes it so if you play public events for 4 hours, like who is going to play public events for 4 hours? Maybe people that want to shoot the shit, that's fine.
Apparently audio.
You can't see me, but I'm raising my hand.
Well, 4 hours, that's a long time to spend on a very small fraction of the game. So, yeah, I don't mind a system like that reduces your returns and your rewards from playing one part of the game over and over and over again. I do believe in player choice, so maybe I would rather it not be in there, but I don't mind that it exists. What I do mind is the fact that they said, that not they said, but the UI said you get 100,000 experience points, and then however much you actually got was 4,000. Like that's unethical. That's really stupid. Like, especially when it involves money and their own bottom line. That's scummy. And I really wasn't expecting that from Bungie. Now, I don't know that it was intentional because, well, first of all, like Audio was saying, I actually think someone is not someone, but that is an intentional system.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to write code for it.
I don't even think it's Bungie like themselves. You got to understand, Activision plays a big role in this as well. So, surprised about that.
It's an intentional system. You have to write the code for it, but I actually don't like. I can see this happening where they wrote the system, but then it was technically difficult to get the data, like the post calculation values when you do the throttling calculation. So okay, they just finished a public event. They've done 8 already in the last half hour. Like, how much is we actually going to give their account? I can see that calculation data not making it to the UI, but that's a bug. And that's a really important bug. That's a bug that you, as a software company, need to fix before it gets out on the customers, onto the shelves. Like,
And
Bungie, shame on you.
yeah, and I completely agree on that point. The way I see it, there's two kind of options that you can go with. This is that it's kind of like Kraken said, they wrote it, and for whatever reason, they didn't get the UI to display it correctly, and so that's possibly just a bug. That's completely possible what they did. Or the other way that you see it, and these are the only two real scenarios I see, is that it was done to be intentionally deceptive, to give you a false timeline of how long it actually took you to get bright engrams, to basically encourage you to buy more. I honestly see that as the more likely scenario, is that it was intentionally done to deceive players as to the value of their time as far as XP is concerned.
So, software developers are not stupid, and I would see that intentional deception as stupid. Like, your customers are not stupid. They're going to notice that the bar goes up this much when that same number comes up, and the bar goes up way more when that same number comes up. Like, people are going to notice. Like, to me, that seems like it's kind of a, not catch-22, but it's like, how could you not see that? So if you are trying to deceive us, that's like a toddler trying to hide their food from their parents. Like, what?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, this is what I'll say on that, though, is that if you look at the design choices, a lot of what Bungie has done with Destiny 2, they treat us like we're stupid. Like, if you think about, there's one of two options. Either they think we're stupid, or they're really bad or really slow, one of the two, at writing software, because they've dumbed down the trees, because we're unable to make, competent decisions about what perks we want in our characters. They've basically taken away a lot of the things that, random rolls were too confusing to people for what, they actually wanted or needed and anything. So let's make static rolls. Again, I will say again that I did not like random rolls, but that's beside the point. So I honestly think that Bungie, at least some of the executives and everything like that, higher-ups, I don't think the software developers think this in any way, but I think the higher-ups kind of think that we're stupid and that we won't catch on, or at the very least, it will be so far, it will take so long for us to catch on to things that it won't matter.
I was going to have like a rebuttal for you, but that actually makes perfect sense. I bet there were software engineers in there, at a sprint meeting, or maybe, post-sprint meeting, be like, hey, boss, this isn't going to work. They're going to notice. Please, can we just do something that's rational? And then, yeah. And the person that thinks that we're stupid said, no, this is how it's going to be, and just put it in.
Right. And again,
Basically, just see how long we can get away with it.
yeah, which, honestly, like, if you look at EA, that was kind of their thing. Had they not done the early release on Battlefront, how long would people have played that game, and how much money? Because, pre-release was a relatively small number of people that were actually playing the game compared to the people that would have bought it and played it on day one. So how much money would they have made if they had just not had the pre-release? If they had just released it, somebody was crunching the numbers a week later, figuring out all this sort of stuff. How much cash has EA already made off that?
Something just occurred to me with the EA situation. Aren't we glad that one, wing of EA is so greedy that they had to have that EA pass, whatever, the early play thing, so that the other greedy side of EA that was trying to milk us for microtransactions would actually suffer because everyone got mad because we saw it early? It's like, that's just lovely. They're crashing in on themselves, and great job, EA. You suck.
And again, at least Bungie is not EA. That's the thing they've got going for them, which is not saying a lot. But again, Bungie, you're kind of getting caught doing some relatively scummy things here. Possibly, maybe you'll try and convince us it was a bug or something like that. But thank you for at least not being EA. Thanks for not totally screwing us.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So,
Good times.
so what does the DeltaCo Fireteam chat think about the deactivation of the system? So not only, because they could have responded a couple ways. They could say, this is a bug, this is something that we intend to fix, and then just left it in.
So final thoughts. Is that what you're asking? Final thoughts?
Kind of like, because we haven't talked about, like, they just up and disabled the whole system.
Correct.
Like, rather than dabbling in.
They did it pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
So just that alone makes me think, okay, this is something they already had in the system. This was intentional. And then they got caught with their pants down, and they were just like, all right, cool, whatever, we'll change it, and then done. That sucks, and Bungie, shame on you.
Do you think
That's all. Do
you think they're gonna re-enable it eventually?
Probably, because I'm sure Activision's gonna have some say in it. So, because they're losing money like that.
Or they're gonna, Bungie's like, hey, look at EA. EA got skewered over this. We just leave it out, please. And then Activision might say, oh yeah, let's not get skewered.
So what I'll say on it is that I think it will come back in some form or another. I think that what they'll do is they're turning it off for now, and in the response, they actually say that they're going to be reviewing game data to ensure that these changes meet our expectations as well as yours, and then any updates to the system will be communicated to our via our official channels.
There it is.
What they're basically saying there is it's super similar to EA's thing. It's like, hey, we're going to take a look at this and figure out how we can re-implement it without looking like total a-holes. Like that's what we're really gonna try and do. Now the thing that will be interesting to see, because Bungie has thus far been really bad about communication, is if they do bring it back, are they actually going to tell us? And when they tell us, or if they tell us, are they going to tell us how it's done? Are they going to actually give us a peek at, like, oh, these are the actual numbers. If you're trying to grind out public events, you're going to get 5% of the XP you should. So are they actually going to give us those numbers, or are they just going to say, hey, we've re-implemented the throttling in a way that we feel is more equitable? Because they could totally release a statement like that, and there's not a whole lot you can do there. So
that's a very Bungie-esque way to say it too, in a way that we feel is better for the player.
Right. I should write these things for Bungie. So Bungie, if you're listening, I definitely will work for you. Forget all the bad things I've said about you.
No can speak Bungie too.
This never happened. Yeah. All right, so you guys got anything else to say about that before we head on to the next topic?
I mean, no, I'll leave it at that.
All right, cool. So something we're kind of doing is just we're just going to go around the table here, and we're just going to talk about like something cool that we've done with the clan in the past, or just like a good memory.
Cool. It's taco memory time. I really should have prepared something before, but I've had a lot of great memories. When I first joined the Tacos in January 2015, I had played the big game a lot with Corandon, who's also a clanmate. Excuse me, a Taco. And we were pretty much just the two-man, the duo. We did Nightfalls alone together. We did strikes together. We basically logged in and said, hey, what do you want to do tonight? Well, I have to do this quest. Okay, cool. We'll go do that. And good times. But we never really could finish the raid. I had a couple buddies from college. It was two buddies who are twins and their dad, and I hung out with them a bunch. But they played Destiny 2. And they were pretty okay at Destiny. Unfortunately, we really couldn't really do the raid effectively for a multitude of reasons. Not because they were, super bad or anything, but that was something we couldn't really do. And so Crota, Dark Below came out. We tried that. We just couldn't get it. And so we kind of just let it, cool off for a while and just not try the raid. We played other things because there was plenty of things to do in Destiny.
What are you trying to imply there?
Huh? That Destiny 1 was better? No, of course not.
What? What?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Positive thoughts.
So,
Positive thoughts.
And so when I did join the tacos in January, like that was the coolest thing. I played with Tim. Like right off the bat, Tim was the first person to reach out to us because we created a 100 session for the Nightfall. I think it was a difficult one that neither of us could beat together. We were both Sun Singers, but you know how it goes in Destiny 1. If you play Destiny 1, you know how it goes. Where things just kill you immediately. And so if you don't have, like, you have one chance with the Sun Singer, one extra chance after you die. But if you still don't get it, then you get kicked out orbit and you got to try again. And Tim joined like 10 minutes after we created that session and just killed it. Like we beat it so quick. And then he started inviting us to other things like, hey, here's a raid. Have you done the raid yet? And this week. And I'm like, no, we haven't. And so we went and played Crota with them. And it was so easy. It was so easy. Like,
yeah, he was a good player.
Like Crandon and I know our stuff. We're both kind of, really nerdy guys that just like being excellent at video games. And so like when we actually went in there, we were, everyone was contributing and everyone was in their places. Everyone was shooting the right stuff. And it was such a great feeling. And that's when I knew like tacos are cool. Like I think I'm going to stick with this group, and I got to know some of the other people like Panda and Infamous, and I don't think I really met Husker until later in the summer of 2015. But in Husker's group like Woofo and
The Midwesterners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just great, and I'm really glad to be a part of this clan, and yeah, it's been a wild ride. I hope Destiny 2 brings back some of those situations and memories. Helps us.
Bring back the sixes.
Yeah. Let's not. That's another podcast. Let's.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to bring
I'm gonna
it.
tiptoe around.
I was trying to open up a wound.
Yeah, I like how
you got what I'm saying.
Audio's like, let's I've got a positive memory. Let's keep this positive. And he's like, oh yeah, here, hang on, let me pour some salt in your wound there for you, crack and fall. Like, let me end it on the saltiest note I can.
Yeah, so my thing is, it's like this was I want to say it was like a little bit before the Taken King came out, and every Tuesday on reset I would get up at 6:30 in the morning and I would do the Nightfall every week with Matt WJ and Ronan every week. Poor Ronan though, like he I think he was on the West Coast, and this dude, like, it was probably like 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning for him. He was never on the mic. His kid was always asleep in his arms, and Matt was just I think Matt wasn't in Canada at the time. I think he was living somewhere in another country, doing his English stuff. But yeah, I just remember like getting up every day and just doing the Nightfalls. We would do it 3 times, and sometimes we would finish, sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes Ronan wouldn't wake up, so But yeah, that's my memory for the week.
It's cool.
Okay, so I actually remember. So Kraken and I were talking before we started recording about how I was like, oh man, I know there was something that positive that happened this week, and I couldn't remember it because again, I've been on like Reddit all day telling people that they're wrong and citing the grimoire from D1 and all sorts of stuff. So I've been like super negative about Destiny all day, and so I was like, I know there's something positive, and I remembered what it was. And I really should like edit this back in when we were talking about Iron Banner, so it looks like I have some sort of like train of thought, but I'm not going to. But what it was is that so this week I was running Iron Banner with Marcus, and I mean I ran almost the first Iron Banner. I ran almost completely and totally like by myself. Like I ran a lot with the tacos, but percentage-wise, it was very, very solo play. So actually getting in there with another taco was wonderful. Having like at least one person on your team that you could coordinate with and everything was way more fun than running solo. However, the thing I will say, a positive thing, Bungie, good job on this one, is that while running solo this week, during Iron Banner, I did not get spawn killed. Not once. Now, I realize that is something that probably should have been taken care of before Iron Banner was released, but they have actually worked on the spawn locations, like they said, and I have not gotten spawn killed yet. So I say yet. I can't even help, I can't be positive when I'm trying.
Well, aren't you just the luckiest guy in the world, you bastard?
Have you been getting spawn killed?
Yes, I've been getting spawn killed all week.
Me too.
It's been awesome.
I'm not gonna say anything, but it may just be a console thing that they fixed it for. Yeah,
it's not.
I don't know.
all.
It's just it's weird. I'm not saying that if you got on console, maybe you'd see those sort of things. And then the other thing I actually did have prepared for this. One of the cool things that honestly I have really enjoyed is doing this podcast. Has been awesome. I've gotten to talk to, honestly, Audio and Kraken way more than I ever have before. I've gotten to talk to Moss, Ronan.
I don't think I ever talked to you before this.
Well,
whoa!
I thought we were friends.
I mean, you know what I mean. It's just like I don't really like.
No, I get it. It's cool.
Talk a whole lot.
No, I'll go back to my console. It's cool.
Don't worry, No Face. You and I have played a bunch. We played Iron Banner back in D1. We played some Nightfall.
Yeah, because you always ran in groups where I was like, I'm gonna hide behind stuff. I'm just gonna try not to get killed. That was my goal when I ran with y'all. But yeah, I do enjoy the podcast, and I also enjoy giving both of you a hard time. It's like it's like I look forward to it every week.
Yeah, it's a weekly thing now. It's great.
You too, No Face.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I'm really surprised that it's taken off as much as it has. Because this podcast, I'd always wanted to do one for a really long time. And I just waited on the right time. And I didn't even really think it was going to take off like this, but get it now. I guess, we're six episodes deep? Mm-hmm. That's like a whole Star Wars saga.
Oh, let's not go into that either.
Can we start with episode 4 and say that's where we started? Oh well, we episode 1 was lost.
4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6 is where I'm at. Other than that, I don't really care. Episode 7 can suck a dick. So
yeah.
That copy paste bullshit. So
you guys know my Destiny salt. I'm not gonna let you know my Star Wars salt. So
yeah, don't even get me.
Oh man, we're gonna have to start a second podcast.
Don't even get me fucking started.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Let me pencil you guys in. Jesus. All right, guys, you heard it. Episode 6 of DeltaCo Fireteam Chat. I'd like to thank you for listening. If you'd like to get in contact with us, there are 2 ways. You can email us at deltacofireteamchat@gmail.com. So if you got any responses to what we just talked about today, you can also hit us up on Twitter at DeltaCo_71. I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.
Also, if you're on console, you can come play with No Face. He's lonely.